US President Joe Biden has pardoned his son's criminal convictions. The pardon is expected to cover both Hunter Biden's gun charges conviction and guilty plea. Joining me live is US Studies Center Honorary Associate and US Constitutional Lawyer, Dr. Harry Melkonian. Hi there, Harry. Let's talk about the reactions that we've heard. What did you make of Trump's social media post comparing it to January 6th?
I'm not sure how to interpret what the president-elect is saying. My reaction is Joe Biden has done a tremendous favor for President-elect Trump.
Why do you say that?
For two reasons. Number one, it takes this whole Hunter Biden situation off the table. It's a piece of controversy the new president will not have to deal with, because the pardon is an unconditional and absolute constitutional act of President Biden. So, secondly, President-elect Trump, who's had his own share of legal problems and has been able to avoid anything like a sentencing, and has been criticized, this will certainly deflect attention on him. So I think all around it's a situation that will inure to President-elect Trump's advantage.
What do you think of the reasoning for the pardon? That is, that Hunter was selectively prosecuted. And what does this do to Biden's standing, given his previous statements that he wouldn't pardon his son?
Pardons have been treated very generously by the American public over the past 250 years. The presidential pardon is an absolute act, which traditionally is not questioned. It's almost an act of a monarch type of thing, and of course, Joe Biden will be leaving the White House in 2 months, and his argument that what Hunter was convicted of were technical offenses that most people are not prosecuted for is correct, and by the same token, Donald Trump can make the same argument about some of the criminal proceedings against him might not normally have been brought. So it maybe diffuses and calms the whole political legal situation a little bit in the United States.
So you don't think this will have an impact on the future of pardons in the US? Given that your observation is historically they've been treated like monarchs' pardons.
Absolutely. I mean, President Ford pardoned Richard Nixon in a much more controversial situation than this, and it was not questioned. It has just always been part of the United States that the president, and it's in the Constitution, no one can change it without changing the Constitution itself. It's a reserved right of the president with respect to any federal offense, not state offenses, but federal offenses. And I don't believe there will be that much. For a few days, there may be some noise about it, but I don't believe it will be questioned simply because President Trump will want the same pardon authority during his administration.
And the latest cabinet pick from Trump, Kash Patel?
I think that is going to run into serious difficulties in the United States Senate.
As with a few of the other picks?
Yes. In a sense, once you get past Senator Marco Rubio for Secretary of State, there is an element of controversy, and in the case of some of them, substantial controversy And I do not believe that all of them will be confirmed. It's somewhat surprising that the president didn't talk to Senate leaders in advance of some of these more controversial picks.
That would be unlike him, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would be very unlike him. But look, it's not all that unusual for presidents, even with their own party in power, to have difficulty getting some cabinet appointees confirmed. Presidents Bush Sr., President Clinton also ran into some difficulties and had to withdraw some nominees. I think this time with President-elect Trump, I think several of them are going to fall by the wayside.
Okay, we'll see. Thank you so much for your time, Dr. Harry Melkonian from the US Studies Center.